What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and no, this is not the best Taurus handgun they make. It is not. And I own a couple of these, and I like them a lot, and we're going to get into them, but no, this is not the best Taurus. But before you get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Taurus handguns, it's probably one of those companies that's like, it's almost like SIG in a way. It's really weird. It's almost like Glock in a way. They are hated by many, loved by many. And it doesn't really have a middle spot, right? There's very little people that just say, Taurus is okay, or they're decent, or I try them out. It's more like I die hard for Taurus, or I will never touch a Taurus. And I think that's pretty interesting. I'm a little bit more towards like, I don't absolutely love Taurus, but I like them a lot, if that makes any sense to you guys. I love my Glocks, Smith & Wesson, Springfield Armories, CZs. I like a lot, or I like my Tauruses a lot. I should say that. And there's nothing, I have no issues with them, and that's the thing. My handguns that are all Tauruses right now, I have 6 of them, all run flawlessly. I have 2 GX4s, 2 G3Cs, and 2 TX22s. But like I said, Taurus has had a roller coaster in the firearms industry, right? You can go on YouTube, type in Taurus handgun malfunctions, and you will see some of the craziest videos you have ever seen. You will see some Tauruses go brrrr for no reason at all. And these people are just shocked when they try it out. And it's just crazy. I mean, yeah, you can look at that as a blessing, but at the same time, that could be dangerous. If that's your concealed carry handgun, good luck explaining that. I mean, and so on. So it's absolutely crazy. But at the same time, they've had a lot of good press and a lot of good stuff happening, and they've won some awards and all sorts of things. So, I root for them. I really like what Taurus is doing out here. But they still do have that past that sort of haunts them that a lot of people can't get past. But they are coming out with some amazing options. Now, this Taurus GX4 has never seen carry time with me. I've never carried this GX4. I've carried my other GX4 in the past, but not as of recent. And that finish is already almost, getting a little bad. And then if you're wondering what I do carry in, or what holster I bring to the range with my GX4, I use a Vetter IWB holster. It's just a solid holster, small, minimalist, and it's got great retention, and it's Vetter, so why not? But the handgun I'm actually talking about is probably one you didn't think I had or enjoyed this much, but the Taurus TX22. Now, this is a 22 long rifle model from Taurus, and this was their first version prior to having the compact, right? This is more in line with a full-size handgun, the overall size, right? For instance, maybe it's, here's a Glock 45, and there's the Taurus TX22. And of course, the handguns are unloaded, safety checked, and cleared prior to the video. And let's get into the Taurus TX22. Well, because of my previous Tauruses I purchased, I decided to go with a Cerakoted slide. And I honestly think that is a great idea. If you are going to buy a Taurus, the number one complaint I have against Taurus, which isn't their function, it's that, their finish, their Cerakote. Whatever they put on there is trash. So I did go with the Cerakote. And this actually turned out really well. It is doing much better. So if you buy a Taurus, look for these models. They sell them at maybe $20, $30 more, but you're going to end up spending, $75 to $100 in the future, or maybe even more, to get a new, finish, because they get really nasty. Some of these Tauruses I see get really, really nasty. It is what it is, though. You can always get a Cerakote job done, but I do recommend buying it from the factory like this. Now, what do I love about this handgun? Honestly, everything. I think it's sub $300 when I bought it, and that's when it first came out. And oh my, look at the overall frame. Look at the ergonomics on this handgun. Look how crazy that is. It fits your hand perfectly. I mean, the texturing is perfect. It's not too aggressive. It is just perfect. Like if I had texturing done on a handgun, this is my ideal texturing right here. This handgun honestly feels fake as well. It honestly feels like I'm picking up my son's Nerf gun. It is so light. It honestly feels like a toy. But overall ergonomics have to be the best part about this handgun. Next up, it does come with a rail. It comes with awesome little memory pads right here. I wish they would have textured them. If you would have put some texturing in there, those are real deep. I mean, you can really fight recoil, and this is a 22 long rifle. You're going to be able to shoot this thing as fast as you want, and there's going to be zero muzzle flip or anything. I mean, this handgun is a handgun meant for speed. It is fast. This one came with a manual safety. I'm not sure if they all do or not, but this one did. It is pretty stiff going up and a little less stiff going down. That's what you want typically if you're not going to use it at all. But what I do like about that safety is this is the handgun I'm going to start my son shooting on. When he's old enough, or my kids in general, when they're old enough, this is the handgun they will start on, a 22 long rifle. And having that manual safety on there can be crucial with younger kids and teaching them handgun safety and so on. So I think that was actually a smart thing to do, was pick up a model with a safety. And on top of that, I don't shoot it the most, but I know I will be getting a lot of use out of it in the future, right? Next up, the sights are adjustable in the rear. 3-dot white sights, pretty decent sight picture, but nothing special. You can always change those. I'm pretty sure they just use Glock pattern sights, which was genius of Taurus, right? Why not use the most widely available sights? Because that's a huge selling point, is aftermarket, right? That is one of the biggest selling points. It is 16+1 in this setup. Obviously now they make a compact, which I think is 13+1. It's just a shrunk down version of this, but I'm sure the ergonomics are still on point. I'm sure you know, you can get great Cerakoted slides like this. I'm sure the trigger is just as good, and so on. Then that mag release is really nice because it is sort of flush with this little lip right here. This lip comes up. Whenever you see a line like this on a handgun, that usually means where there's going to be a widening or thinning of that frame. I try pointing that out in certain videos where handguns get smaller in the frame than they are up top and vice versa. So I try and point that out. And as you can see, it's sort of nice because the handgun gets thinner here and the handgun gets thinner here, making a little valley to put that mag release. So unless you intentionally press it, you are not going to hit that thing. It is tucked away really nice, but it does function just fine still. Racking the slide is a joy. Like, I honestly look forward to racking this thing. I mean, literally, you don't even have to touch this thing. It just racks. So this is one of those pistols that, you know, maybe potentially you have really bad wrists, arthritis, whatever the case may be, but you still want to shoot a lot of rounds for fun and save a lot of money. This is for you. Or anybody who just wants to save money but still get shots on target, practice fundamentals, practice drawing, stuff like that. This is a great way to go because 22 long rifle is always probably going to be one of your cheaper ammos that's potentially always going to be on the shelves. So this is definitely the way to go. But it's big for people who have hand problems. They now make the compact, which comes to about here and comes to about here. So it's a shrunk down version of this gun, probably by 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch each direction. Potentially, if you needed to carry 22 long rifle, I don't recommend it because 22 long rifle tends to be unreliable in forms like this. But if you were to do that, what I would say is get the compact version and carry it. You're better off having a 22 long rifle on you than nothing. And no, I don't recommend 22 long rifle to anybody. 380 is about the lowest I'd tell people to carry. But in this case, if you have bad hands, it's better than nothing. So I completely get it. Not only is it friendly to shoot recoil-wise, but it is so friendly when you pick up this handgun. I mean, it feels unreal. And like I said, it's light, so if you were to carry this, it would be one of the lightest handguns you could be carrying for its size and capacity. But like I said, at your own risk. Now let's get in that trigger, because that's the last thing I want to touch on, other than the 2,500 solid rounds through this, right? 2,500 rounds, and we've had about 12 malfunctions. Now, what I did notice, it is ammo picky. It's a 22 long rifle, right? Ammo picky is key, and also how much you clean it. What I realize is when I have a long range day, I tend to start seeing more malfunctions towards the end of the day. Once I'm shooting hundreds and hundreds of rounds through this thing, it is a plinker. You're going to blow through 22 long rifle like it's nothing. It's fast as can be, so you're going to shoot a lot of 22 out of it, but it is a joy, and that's one of the biggest things. Even though this is a concealed carry channel over here, one of the biggest things to me is still having fun with handguns, enjoying working on them, enjoy shooting them. You know, it's serious when it comes to concealed carry, but as a hobby, you can still have a little bit of fun. So I definitely think this is a great way, especially with the economy, the way things are going, the prices of everything. You can still do your favorite hobby and do it in a cheap way. So the Taurus TX22 is definitely the 22 long rifle I would recommend for everyone. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out this trigger. I mean, it is so nice feeling. It's probably about 4 pounds. I mean, it is so nice. I mean, it is so crisp. Reset. I mean, I love this handgun. I absolutely love it. And this is why I go to Taurus. I go to Taurus for cheaper handguns. I go to them for the budget section. I go to them to save a little bit of money. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with getting a budget 22 long rifle for plinking or teaching your kids or whatever the case may be. So even though it is a Taurus and you may hate them, I would say the TX22 would be your best purchase from them. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and because I struggle at sitting still, I will sit still and let you see the whole handgun at the end. Thanks, guys.